There's a kind of loneliness a lot of men over 50 never named. Not empty house loneliness, quieter than that. Honestly, I don't think it means you're broken. I think it means that you've been strong for a long time without much real company. Here's what I've learned: 5 things that help me feel less alone after 50. Not big social tricks, small human ones. Number 4 is the one most good men skip. 1. I stopped confusing being needed with being known. For years, I thought people needed me. I couldn't be lonely. Work needed me, family needed me, I was useful, I was solid. If that sounds familiar, you're not weak for wanting more. A lot of us were taught that being useful is the relationship. Here's the quiet payoff that kept me stuck. Being needed feels like proof you matter. It's measurable, it's clear. Someone calls you, you show up, you fix it, but the cost is this: you can be essential all day long and still drive home unseen because nobody asked you how you are, and you never made room for that question either. Being known is different. It's someone who knows what drains you, what you're proud of, what you're scared to want next. What helped me? Once a week, one honest check in with one person. Not a status update, one true sentence. I've been a little quiet lately. That's enough to start. 2. I put down waiting to be invited. I told myself real friendship should happen naturally. If I was meant to have closer guys, they would just show up. The hidden payoff of waiting? You never risk looking needy. You never risk a no. You get to keep your pride. The cost? After 50, lives get full and separate. Work circles shrink, kids leave, the old automatic friends don't refill themselves. Waiting starts to look like disappearing. I don't think the answer is forcing fake buddy energy. I think the answer is one small reach out, a text, a walk, coffee next week, sent before you talk yourself out of it. What I got back? Not a huge crew overnight. 1 or 2 realer connections, which is plenty. You're allowed to go first. 3. I noticed much of my life was happening in parallel. Same calendar, same routines, but not much side to side presence. Not much really, how are you? A lot of good men live near people and still feel alone inside the day. The quiet payoff: parallel life is efficient. No hard talks, no slowing down. Everyone handles their own stuff. The cost? You start to feel like a roommate in your own story. Love can be there and loneliness can still sit in the room. What helped wasn't a dramatic speech. It was shorter and warmer. 10 undistracted minutes, a walk with no phones, one question with eye contact. How are you doing? For real. What I got back? A little more we in the week. Loneliness shrinks when someone meets you in the middle of an ordinary day. 4. I stopped treating loneliness like a secret I had to protect. This one most good men skip. We can talk sports, work, news, aches, and never say, I feel a little alone. Here's the hidden payoff of silence. If you don't say it, you don't have to feel weak. You don't risk making anyone uncomfortable. You look fine, but the cost is heavy. What stays unnamed stays heavy, and loneliness grows in the dark. You can still believe you're the only guy your age who feels this, and that belief isolates you more. I don't have all the answers, but I do know this. The moment I said it out loud to one safe person, it got a little smaller. Not solved, smaller. You don't need a speech. One honest line is enough. I've been feeling more alone than I expected at this age. That's not complaining. That's being human with someone. What I got back? Relief, and the surprising discovery I wasn't the only one. 5. I built one small reason to show up for other people. Not a hero mission, not a total life reboot, one reoccurring place where my face was expected. A walk group, a volunteer hour, a weekly call with a friend who needs it. Clubs, classes, neighborhood help, whatever fits your real life. The hidden payoff of staying home until I feel like it? It feels like rest. It feels like control. No one can disappoint you if you don't show up. The cost? Isolation becomes the default. Days go quiet in a way that isn't peaceful, just empty. I've learned that purpose and people often arrive together. Whenever you have somewhere to be for someone else, loneliness has less room to run the whole day. What I got back: structure, warmth, a reminder that I still have something to give, and that receiving connection is allowed too. You don't need 20 new friends. You do need one rhythm that puts you in the same place as other humans on purpose. If any of this felt close to home, I want you to hear me clearly. Feeling lonely after 50 doesn't mean you failed at life. It often means the old sources of automatic connection changed. Work, kids, the busy years, and nobody handed you a new map. You're not weak for wanting deeper connection. You're alive. I still have quiet days and still forget and isolate, but that's human. But every time I practice one of these 5, life feels a little less like I'm carrying it alone. You're not behind, you're not broken, and you're not the only man who wants real connection in this chapter. You can be a strong man and still need people. These two things were never opposites. Which one of the 5 hit closest to home? Tell me in the comments. No judgment. Your note might help another guy feel less alone tonight. And if you want more honest talks on mindset, meaning, and building a life that feels balanced after 50, subscribe and stick around. We'll figure out this chapter together. I'll see you in the next one.